Last time on My Hero Academia, Bakugo suffered a brutal defeat at the hands of Shigaraki, only for the big three to come in and do their thing as best they could. But unfortunately, they haven't really been able to deal any real significant damage on Shigaraki, and though Bakugo has been sidelined, he still seems to be observing the battle with intense ferocity, as if he has any other speed. What does this all mean? Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, My Hero Academia, number 361, Abnormal Happening. And you see Shigaraki, a young Shigaraki, in a sea of hands, which, do I need to explain why you don't get handsy with children? Do I? And Shigaraki thinks back to what Miria told him, that he didn't have any friends. And the young Shigaraki in the sea of hands says, "Friend?" He remembers back when he was younger, and he was talking to his mom, and he mentioned, "I told Mikun and Tomo we should play together." When he tried to be a hero, essentially. And he tells Mirio mid-battle after being punched by Mirio's combination attack with Hado. He says, "I do have friends. 'Cause, like Mikun and Tomo said, you're really nice, Ten. And Mon likes to go on walks with me. Did you know that? Huh? So yeah, I've got friends." Wow, that is such a childish thing to say. And the way Shigaraki looks, like half of his face is like consumed in such a way that he almost looks like All For One. And Mirio's so taken off guard by this. He just says, "Sorry, man." And then just a flood of appendages go racing over Mirio. But naturally they can't touch him, so he's just like, oops. He thinks to himself, that sure was a reaction. Did I hit a nerve? Touch on a delicate topic? Feel bad. But more importantly, his core body is way tougher than the hand tentacles. Hand tentacles. There's no comparison. I couldn't even scratch his skin. So we might be in trouble here. Shigaraki grabs his head and thinks, well, All For One grabs his head and thinks, a fissure within. The body was complete, a perfect unification of Tomura Shigaraki and me, or so I thought. It seems there's a component that hasn't quite melded. Neither Tomura nor All For One. Oh, that's what that little boy represents. The last little bit of Tomura Shigaraki that exists within the infinite mass that is All For One. All For One thinks, Shimura, dragging this out is not ideal. Shigaraki then starts to move away from Mirio. Mirio tries to launch an attack, saying, "Hey, get back here!" But Shigaraki and the mass of hand tentacles come marching over, right towards Bakugo and Best Jeanist. Shigaraki says, "Why should I care about a pesky distraction?" Mirio realizes the jig is up. He thinks, I thought I felt him hesitate back there. Hado and Tamaki, you two are the opening act. That's when I make my debut and yank Bakugo out of there. Okay, it was a plan he was coming up with Hado and Sun Eater previously. He was telling them before they initiated their attack on Shigaraki. Then, since I'm untouchable, I can get in close to his actual body and buy time. So we can't stall him unless there's a solid attack worth waiting for. That's why. Oh, I'm buying time for you, Tamaki, he says to Sun Eater. So we see Shigaraki wind up his hand-mouth tentacle for an attack. Best Jeanist swirls a mass of cables around him, saying, "Come, do your worst, you foul abomination." And Shigaraki says, "Don't push yourself too hard. You've already eaten a decent hit. You're barely conscious, right?" Oh, and I think the fabrics of Shigaraki's cloak are trying to bind around his body too because of Best Jeanist. But then in comes Hada with her waves of piercing energy that Shigaraki easily blocks with his giant hand tentacles. As he says, "You people." But Nejire doesn't stop. She sends out wave after wave after wave after wave, screaming the entire time. But Shigaraki remembers when he was told this arena was constructed solely to defeat you. And he tells Hado, "You people built a tomb for yourself." Ooh. And then oh my god, a mass of the tentacles come rocketing towards Hado. And it's really hard to tell. Like, some of them look like they got her, they grazed her. It almost looks like a chunk of her side was taken out. Oh man. And then you have Hato's narration. He says, "Hey you, since you've got that all-powerful quirk, it's like you look down on the rest of us. Whenever I'd get curious and try to learn about others, I'd wind up driving them away. But then you asked me that." And we see Amajiki approaching Hato, who I guess seemed unapproachable at one point in her life. And he asked, "Which hero are you a fan of?" So he essentially tried to make friends in the same way Mirio did with him in the past. Hato remembers laughing with Mirio and Amajiki, and she thinks, "I got to learn so much about you two, and now I'm all the stronger for it. We know the true worth of his vast hybrid. Sure, it takes time to cook up properly, but Toga and I know all about you, Tamaki Yamajiki." Oh, jeez. I'm not even sure what I'm looking at. Is he forming a cannon? I was thinking, we hadn't seen him for a hot minute. Sun Eaters consume so many things. And there's just a list behind the massive gun he's forming. And more than half of it's covered up. I see zebra, tarantula, dragon fruit, spider crab, chestnut, miso, peanut, green sea turtle, locust, red sea urchin, soft-shell turtle, jackfruit, and Nejire Hato's energy. And Hato thinks, eating more things makes your potential grow and grow. Mirio thinks to himself, if anything can land a meaningful hit on Shigaraki, it's gotta be a quirk with no upper cap. That means you. It has to be you, Sun Eater. Damn. I really do like the fact that Sun Eater is the one to potentially deliver a powerful blow against Shigaraki, because he's the one with the lowest self-esteem. Hato's never had that issue, Mirio's never had that issue, but Amajiki? Constantly. But his friends always talk him up, and this is a great time to prove them right. Gee, I don't even know how you'd even begin to animate that, though. It's uncomfortable to look at, if nothing else. I'm hoping Hato's alright, but it's really hard to tell. I don't know, that hit she took looks savage. All For One is desperate to get to Bakugo, because he knows Deku's on his way, and he just wants to leave Deku in despair by the time he gets here. And the notion that comment from Mirio hit all the way down to the Shigaraki within All For One still. That was kind of wild. That's wild. And I like that a little bit better than the situation with All For One and his quirks going rampant in his body. I feel like that could have been explained a little bit better. Like, he was destabilized. He didn't think that body of his would still have fight in it and stuff like that. I don't know, there's a number of reasonings behind everything that happened with that. And I feel like it could have probably been explained better, but I like this because, Shigaraki is a being made from his trauma. And something he previously felt very passionate about was being a hero and helping his friend. It's something that hits at something that from before he became what he is now. And that's the first real chink in the armor that's been found. So I feel like Mirio's going to pass that information along to Midoriya. And that'll be one of the things that helps Midoriya take Shigaraki down. But Shigaraki's just become this unstoppable wave of destruction, and he isn't even at full power. God. I'm also waiting for the moment we cut to some of the other fights, because I'm still shocked we seemingly wrapped up things with Dabi, but not with Toga. Alright, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about this bit of Shigaraki still existing in the possessed body now owned by All For One? Do you feel that it bursting out is the first sign of a chink in All For One's armor? And are you okay with that? Do you feel like maybe that's too much? And what do you think about Sun Eater's final gambit? The final strike? Do you think it'll really do some damage? Or will it continue to all be surface level? Can't wait to hear from you, but if you like this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications. That way you don't miss out on the next chapter reaction. But until then, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.